Hello students of class 12 Commerce, welcome to your business studies class. So students, this is going to be your third class under unit 4 that is about planning, alright? In our previous two classes, I have already covered almost all the topics, alright? So with today, some of the topics that are left, we will cover it in our today's class, alright? So, our topic is about planning, alright? So let me just remind you all over again what planning is all about, alright? So planning, it is the primary functions of a management, right? If you remember, it is, planning is the, primary function of a management. That means it is the first and the foremost function under a management, all right? And the rest of the functions of the management will follow up once planning is been set, all right? So, planning is all about thinking in advance, right? What to do, how to do, when to do, and who is to do it, right? So planning comprises of all those. So whenever there is a planning under an organization, then the organization will definitely have success, all right? They will see the end result, and the end result is having success in their organization. So planning is a very important, it plays a very important role under the organization, okay? So class, that was just a reminder for you, okay? So moving ahead, we have plans, all right? Types of plans, all right? So under this type of plans, there are two plans, okay? There are two plans. The first one is single-use plans, and the other plan is a standing plan, all right? So let's look further. What is this single-use plan is all about? So by the word single, I'm sure you have already assumed what single plan is all about, right? Here, when the ideas or the plans are being used for only one period of time, okay? When the ideas or the plans are being utilized for one period of time, that is called a single-use plan, all right? Let me give you an example, okay? In an institution, if they organize an annual day for the students, okay? So this annual day is held only for a day, right? So once the program, the event is over, everyone goes home, the program is over, right? Similarly, we programs like seminars or workshops, right? All those events are held only for a day, or at the most it goes for maybe 2-3 days. But once the program is over, they discard the plans, right? They discard the plans, and the organization will proceed to the new session. It means they will come up with new ideas and plans for the new session, right? So the plans which are used only for a one time period, okay? One time period, that is single-use plans, all right? There are two types of these plans, that is budget and program, all right? I'll do the full explanation in a while, all right? Now let's go to the standing plan. Standing plan here means the plans which can be repeatedly used, all right? In a sense, the plans which can be used again and again, all right? The plans which can be used continuously over a long period of time, that is called a standing plan, all right? Let me cite an example for you. You can see the types of standing plans, right? Those are policies, procedures, methods, and rules. So, if the rules, okay, let's take the example of this procedure, okay? If, we all know what is procedure, right? Procedures are something that is fixed, or a process, or a step. So in order to achieve something, we need to follow certain procedures, right? So once an organization fixes some certain procedure for some different business industries, those steps need to be followed, right, in order to achieve the goals, yes or no? So once these procedures are being success, okay, once these procedures, by following these procedures, once they achieve, that means, they can use this procedure all over again. All right, in a sense, the procedure can be used, continuously, even in the next session. If they have used the same procedure in 2020, they can use the same procedure even in 2021. All right, that was just an example. So that is what standing plan is all about. All right, when the plans can be used repeatedly, again and again. All right. So moving ahead, class, we have classifications of plans, all right? So there are some certain points mentioned under these classifications of plans. So whatever points that you will study now, okay, these are all related, connected with plans, all right? Please do keep that in your mind. So first of all, the first classification, what do we have? Objective, right? Objective, we have already covered. We already know what are objectives. It is for long-term plans, right? When an organization, they plan something, they plan for a longer period of time, right? They do not plan for a short period. The organization always plan for the longer period of time. So here, objective is referring to the aims and the target that the organization have, all right, to achieve those objectives, all right? And the objectives is always targeted for a longer period of time, okay? So, an objective should possess the following qualities, okay? Class, if you are watching this, if you can refer your textbook, okay, in page 131, okay? It's always good to listen to this lecture along with your textbook, okay? So, some of the qualities that possessed in the point objectives are, it should be aimed at achieving the result, all right? So there should be an end result at the end. Whenever an organization set a certain objective, there must be an end result to it. That is the first quality, okay? The second point is, it should be a time bound, all right? So time bound in the sense, in which year or in which month or a time and a date, there should be a specific time and a date for the organization in order to achieve the target, all right? So there should be a time-bound period, all right? The third quality is, it should be sufficiently challenging for the organization, okay? So here it is talking about, in order to achieve the target, there should be a competitive spirit among the workers, among the top managers. They'll have to push the employees in order to work together, okay? So that is how they work, all right? And they are able to achieve the desired objectives that they have planned, all right? So that is what objectives is all about under the first classifications of plans. Number 2 is strategy. Okay, so as mentioned here, strategy means it is a structure, okay? Strategy means having a proper shape or a structure of the objectives. This and this should connect with each other, all right? So the strategy means having a proper shape or a structure of the objectives. Or in other words, you can also call it as having a blueprint of the objectives, all right? So it's like in 1 year, okay? In 1 year, how much profit the company, the business enterprises are able to achieve, okay? They'll just analyze, they'll just have a strategy, how much the organization are able to achieve in 1 year period of time, all right? Achieve in a sense the objective, okay? Whatever objective they have planned. So strategy is a structure or a blueprint of the organization, all right? It also means analyzing thoroughly of the certain objective, whether the objective is for a shorter period of time or for a longer period of time, all right? So having a strategy is always fruitful for the certain management or organization. There are 3 qualities that has been mentioned here. The first one is determining long-term objectives, all right? So this is the strategy, all right? It's obviously it is for a longer period of time, okay? Just like the objectives, okay? Since these two are connected, strategy, it should also be for a longer period of time. The second quality is adopting a suitable course of action. Okay, so it means that the organization must give their 100% focus for the welfare of the organization. All right. The third one, it says allocating the resources with considered essential for achieving those objectives. That means organization must acquire, okay, they must acquire certain necessary, essential required goods for the upliftment of the organization, all right? So those were some of the qualities, points that has been under a strategy, all right? Moving on, the next classification, policy, okay? So policy is nothing but a general statement, okay? It is a general statement that provides guidelines to thinking, all right? So policy is nothing but a general statement that provides guidelines, okay? I'll just highlight the word guidelines here, all right? So through policy, planning is always successful, all right? Yeah, let me just put it that way. Through policy, planning is always successful, all right? It guides how the work should be done, okay, some do's and don'ts and so on, all right? If an employee, okay, if the employee has been recruited to work under a certain company, then that person will be, made aware of the certain policy that is under the organization, all right? That's how they work. And also under policy, okay, if the organization, they want to have some certain credit system, okay, whether they will allow credit system to the business enterprises or no, policy will determine, policy will decide that, all right? And also, while fixing price of a certain commodities, okay, whether the fix will be, high, low, medium, or whatever, okay, whether the price will be fixed or no, all those decisions is related with the policy. All right. So through policy, the planning process always see the end result. All right. The next point we have under the classifications of plans are the procedures. Okay. So procedure means the exact manner where the activities can be accomplished. Right. Let me repeat all over again, the exact manner where activities can be accomplished, all right? So, procedures is all about, following some certain steps and process in order to achieve the required target of the organization, all right? So, whenever, one follow the procedure, they are always, able to work in a smooth and efficient way, all right? So, just an example, okay, if a student, he wants to study in, in one of the institutions, okay, so the first thing what he need to do is he'll have to go to the specific institution and get the form, right? So once he get the form, the next thing he'll do is fill every details, right? Every details, he'll fill it. The next thing he'll do is attach the documents, right? Required documents and hand it over to the institution. The next thing what they will do is after the selection process is over, if that person is selected, he'll be appointed in the new institution, right? And from there he'll buy books, uniforms, and so on. And from there, those process will follow up, all right? So even in the planning, okay, planning just does not just happen randomly, all right? Planning also have a certain process that is to follow some certain procedures in order to run the required organization efficiently and effectively, all right? So that is what procedure is all about, having an exact manner where the activities can be accomplished, all right? Number 5 is method, okay? Method here is a systematic way of doing a certain way. All right. Method is all about doing a systematic way of doing a certain way. All right. So here there are varieties of methods under a planning. All right. There are varieties of methods under a planning. So once the method is been fixed, okay, it can be utilized for a longer period of time. This method is the this is the perfect example of standing plan. You know what is standing plan, right? The plans which can be used over a long period of time. So methods, okay? Once the method is fixed, if the organization finds that, you know, the method it's good, okay, it is convenient, it is bringing profit, it is bringing benefits to the organization, then this method can be implemented for a longer period of time, okay? Number 6 is about rules. All right, so here rules, it says here action and non-action. Right? So rules is all about what to do and what not to do. All right? So whenever there is rules under an organization or everywhere, okay, whenever there is rules, the organization are able to function in a very convenient way. All right? Because when the employees, you know, they abide by all those rules and regulations, and they follow up whatever rules that has been applied by the organization, okay, they are able to achieve the target smoothly. All right, here an example: prohibition of tobacco sales within a certain radius of an educational institution is a rule and to be followed by all. Right, so there is a rule that, you know, selling of tobacco near the educational institution is totally not allowed. That is a strict rule that has been provided, right? So when people follow those kind of rules, at the end, what happens? It benefits both the parties, right? It is beneficial for everyone if one follows the certain rules, all right? So rules is nothing but action and non-action, what to do and what not to do. You got it? Number 7 is a budget. All right. So when we talk about budget, it is related to financial terms. Okay. So budget is all about financial terms. Okay. How much money is left after, you know, after attending a certain programs or events or so on. Rules. It is all about, you know, knowing the expenses and the expenditure of a certain organization. All right. So if, you know, if an organization, they have a target, okay, they have a target to work for whole 1 year, and their budget is 20 lakhs. All right. So according to the budget of 20 lakhs, the organization will do the expenditure. All right. So budget is nothing but, you know, all related with financial term. Okay. And it analyzes of all the expenses and the expenditure of an organization. All right. So coming to the last point, we have program. All right. So here, class, program is very simple. Okay. Once goals, this goal represents objective. Okay. So once these goals, methods, procedures and rules, they are set. Okay. Once these are set, then the program will automatically implement. Okay, program is, you know, simply organizing an event for the employees just to express their views and ideas of how to uplift and bring changes in the organization. All right, here when they conduct this kind of program, they are able to express, okay, their feedback and how they will, you know, utilize and progress for the welfare of their organization and so on. All right, so just remember that once goals, methods, procedures and rules are set, okay, the program will automatically follow up. Okay, so these are the few points that we could cover in our class today. All right, so I hope that you have understood. Thank you.